Hi guys, welcome back. Today I'm making this beautiful corset top. I had a leftover fabric I decided to use for this. Please don't forget to like and subscribe for more. Thank you. Okay, so first start by taking the length of our corset top. This is a little below the waist, so I'm going to take from my shoulder to waist measurement. That is going to be the length of our corset top. So after taking my shoulder to waist measurement, I take my shoulder to nipple. My shoulder to nipple is 10 inches, and then my shoulder to under bust, which is 13. Then I go upward of my shoulder to waist to get my by 2 inches to get my shoulder to chest. So now from my shoulder to chest will be like 7 or 8, which is fine. Then I roll my lines and then take my shoulder to shoulder measurement, which is 7.5. After marking the 7.5 line, I go down by 1 inch slant, and I slant it to the center front to get my shoulder to shoulder measurement. Afterwards, to get my armhole, I'm going to stand on my chest measurement and take my bust measurement, which is 34, so 8.5. Then I draw a straight line, dividing that 8 line by 2, which is 4. I curve in to get my armhole. Afterwards, I take my nipple to nipple measurement, which is 3.5. My nipple to nipple, 3.5. So I take the 3.5 from my chest line to my waistline. So 3.5, 3.5, 3.5 all through. Afterwards, I connect the points by drawing a straight line. So that is my chest line, my nipple line or my bust line, my under bust, and then the down part will be my waist. Now I'm going to take my dart. So my dart, I'm going to divide 2 inches for my under bust. So 2 inches for my under bust. So dividing 2 inches for my under bust, I'm going to take like 1 inch from both sides, and then I'll do same for the waistline. So after I do same for the waistline, I connect the points from my under bust straight to my waist. So for my under bust, that point that I took, the 1 inch on the both side, I connect it back to the waist. Afterwards, I curve from my nipple line to the point where I took my under bust 1 inch along darts from. So from my nipple, curve down to my under bust line. Then on my chest line, I'm also going to divide 1.5 inches for both sides. Then after dividing, I draw a curve from that point to join that of the point on the nipple line. So I curve in from my chest line to join my nipple line, and from my nipple line to my under bust line. That whole area is going to be a curve. Afterwards, I take the difference from my nipple line, from the length from my nipple line to my under bust, which is about 3.5. Then I'm going to take a circle or a round measurement all around it as I am doing. So I stand on my nipple using my nipple line or my nipple point as the radius. I take all round circle with that 3.5 length all round. So if you're doing yours and you stand on your nipple points to your underbust, and whatever figure or whatever measurement you get, you take it all round your bust area as I am doing. You can equally use a compass or any round thing that you have to create the circle that you're looking for. So after creating that circle, I decided to just use the dashed lines to indicate my circle. You can draw a proper circle if you want. Then afterwards, I add my measurement. Bear in mind that I always add my dart measurement to my actual measurement. So from this point, you can see that my bust measurement is 8.5, which is 34. Then I added the 1.5 inches from my dart, the dart that is there. You can see I added it back to my bust measurement, which is 8.5. So I added a 1.5 dart to it, making it 10. The same goes for the underbust. My underbust, I take my underbust measurement and then I add the darts that I've taken there to my underbust measurement. This is done so that after you cut everything out, you are not going to short on any fabric, because you replace everything you took out back. Okay, so afterwards I connect my circle. This is to your discretion, like however you want the shape to be, but for the shape that we are working with today, or the shape that I want my corset to take, I'm drawing the kind of shape that I want for my corset with the dashed lines of the circle that we have. So on the side, on my side, on the chest line, I go inside, I leave 1 inches for the join on my side. Then from there I draw my circle down to my underbust to get the shape of the cap that I want. And then from there to from the center front, I leave, remember that our circle that we drew, it didn't get to the center front exactly, there was a space. So from that space I leave about half inch, and then I draw a line from there to that of my armpit area to connect to my cap. Afterwards I take my side dart of 1.5 inches and then I cut out. So this is going to be the basic of our corset. So afterwards I'm going to cut out the cap area. From it I cut the center piece, I cut the side, and then I cut the cap area. Not forgetting our side dart. For the cap we are going to cut the side out, but for our side piece we are going to fold it in, or we are going to cut it out and join it back. Remember that is supposed to be closed, so we close that dart on the side. So that is going to be our center piece. Remember that our center piece is on fold, and then our side piece, you're going to cut 2 pieces of that. So we cut a cap as well. As you can see, it is divided into 4, so we are going to have 4 pieces for the cap. So in order not for us to get it confused, I'm going to number my cap so that I'll know this is for this is for that. So I number it 1, 2, 3, and 4. But because of the shape we are looking for today, I'm going to join my 1 and 2 pieces to make 1 piece. So I'm going to join the 1 and 2 to form just 1 piece, and then cut that 1 piece on a different paper. So at the end of the day, we are going to have just 3 pieces instead of 4 for the back. Sorry, for the cap, because we've joined the 1 and 2. So this now becomes 1, and then 3, and then 4. So this is how we are going to join our cap. So for the back, I'm just going to lay my side piece on my pattern, because we are going to join the sides together, so I want to make sure that the sides are equal. So I put my side on my pattern to get the length of the side, making sure that at the end of the day the sides are going to be the same. So after placing it there to get the length of my back piece, I just take my back measurement, and as we all know, I said my bust is 34, so I take my 8.5 and I draw a straight line, 7 as a zipper line if we were to be putting in a zipper. But for this corset top, we are going to put loops and then tie it with a strap. So I take my waist measurement as well, and I connect my bust to waist. And then, since we are not going to put a zipper, there is no need for a zipper line or zipper allowance or anything like that. But since it's also a corset and we want it tighter, we are going to take in a little bit from the back, depending on how snatching you want it. So I'm just going to take about 2 inches for my back. For my actual back, I'm taking 2 inches. That is going to serve as the space that I'm going to pull my loops and then strap it or tie it or snatch my waist with. So now this is going to be my back piece. Notice I didn't add any darts from the back because at this point it's really not necessary. So this is now my back piece. You're going to cut 2 pieces of that as well, one for the left, one for the right. So I'm going to lay all these pieces on my fabric and then cut on my fabric. So remember I told you that for the center front piece is on fold, so my fabric is already on fold. So I place that pattern on the folded side, so when you open you have a bigger one piece. And then I'm going to add 1/2 inch allowance all around the center piece, 1/2 inch allowance all around. But for the down part, because we are going to turn in, I'm going to leave just 1 inch for the down part, but for the side and the cap area, 1/2 inch all around. And then for the side of my front piece, I'm going to add 1/2 inch as well, and then I add 1 inch on the side, but you can choose to just add 1/2 inch all around it. That is also fine, but I left 1 inch on the side, hoping that I might grow big and would want to expand it. Okay, so for our cap pieces too, we are going to do the same. We place it on our fabric and then we add 1/2 inch all around it and cut around it. Don't forget to add the 1/2 inches that we are adding. It will be 7 as our sewing allowance, so it's very necessary. If you don't add it, you're going to short on your cap. So remember to add 1/2 inch all around your pattern always. So afterwards I'm going to number it as well and notch all the places that I'm going to join. And so this is how I'm going to join my pieces. I'm going to join it quickly and then show you how it looks. Okay, so after joining my cap, this is how it looks. don't forget to add interface. This one we are not using an already made bra cap, and I'm not using any other wadding or anything like that. I just use a hard interface just to stiffen or make the whole thing stand. I'm not going to do anything extra. So afterward, this is how you're going to join a cap to a corset. You just take the cap, you match the joints from the center to center, and then you join from one side to one end, from one end to one end in a circular motion. So after attaching a cap to the dress or to the bodice, this is how it looks. Now I'm going to join the back as well. I decided to add a few boning to it, so I'm going to place it on it and then sew the sides together. And then this is my lining as well. I'm going to do same everything I did on the fabric. I did same for the lining, from cutting to stitching, everything the same for the lining, because I'm going to turn in the actual fabric with the lining. So I'm going to sew the sides as well for the lining and the fabric itself. And then I decided to add strap. I didn't want a strapless corset, so I decided to add strap to it that I'm going to tie on the shoulder. So I'm going to sew the straps as well on the cap. Okay, so after I sew the side and I sew my strap, I cut 4 straps, 2 for the front, 2 for the back. Now I'm going to sew in my loops as well. So the loops, I cut a long strip, and then I'm going to coil it. As you're seeing, I'm going to coil it and sew it down, depending on the number of loops that that area can contain. I'm going to coil it on that stretch and then sew it down. After sewing it down, I place my lining piece on the right side of my fabric, and then I'm going to sew all around, leaving just one space, the other side of the loop, or even the down part, whichever place that you can leave a space, so that you turn the whole thing in. After you are done sewing, you turn the whole thing in. So after sewing the lining and turning it in, this is how it looks like. You see, my straps are already inside, my loops are already inside, and this strap is going to be what we are going to lace the back of my corset with. So you see how the inside look with the lining. After turning everything in, this is how it looks, as neat as possible. So I'm going to put it on and show you how it looks. This tutorial was actually just for this particular purpose, but after sewing it, it came out so well that I decided to make a trousers to match. And as you can see, it looks so nice. You can try it at home. I think I use about half yard of fabric. Thank you for watching. Bye.